the players wait inside the tunnel for their big moment. The team of match officials will lead them out onto the field in just a moment. Tony Harrington is the referee, assisted by Ian Cooper and Wade Smith. Jared Gillett is the fourth official. We do not have VAR today, but we do have the Hawkeye goal decision system in use at this playoff final. Here come the officials leading the two teams out, and Blackpool and Lincoln City are met by flames and roars from the supporters at either end of the ground. Onto the field come the Seasiders in their traditional tangerine, Lincoln City in their change kit of all black. Mike Jackson, we talked before about not really having a chance to take it in, being in the zone, being focused on the job in hand, but that is quite the entrance.
I've just got goosebumps here, just sitting here watching the lads come out there. You know, the atmosphere's building, you can hear the fans. It's set up brilliantly now for I'm hoping a really good game for Blackpool.
After 14 or 15 months of football behind closed doors, it feels like the beautiful game is back on a beautiful afternoon at Wembley Stadium. There may only be 10,000 of them, but the fans of both sides are making this an atmosphere to remember. We want it to be an afternoon to remember, as the national anthem is going to be sung by Farrell Smith and George Kernow. Well, that noise speak for itself. The spectators, whether they're Lincoln fans or Blackpool supporters, are feeling very, very lucky to be here. We are massively privileged to be here on Matchday Live on BBC Radio Lancashire. The first of a playoff final double header. In 24 hours' time, it'll be Morecambe's turn. Right now, it's Blackpool's chance to make yet another piece of history in a playoff final. Your commentary team, a man who knows a thing or two about doing just that in playoffs, Mike Jackson, is alongside your commentator, Ian Chisnell.
Abide with me, it may not have been, but if you are not emotionally affected by that rendition of the national anthem, then there's something wrong, rapidly, vastly wrong with you. We're here at Wembley. We're under the eave at the back of the press box here. Chris Maxwell is in the centre circle. Blackpool in tangerine and white today. Talk about white, Michael Jackson. It'll be white hot down there in terms of atmosphere and temperature. Yeah,
it will be. It's all building now. All your work, everything that you've done all season as a group, as a team, it comes down to this one game now. Again, you just spoke about the conditions. It's warm out there. Can you manage that? Can you manage the game? You can't go 100 miles an hour all the time in heat like that and conditions like that. So it'll be interesting to see. But what a great atmosphere.
Fantastic atmosphere. If you are just switching on to BBC Radio Lancashire, A, where have you been? And B, you will have missed the team news, which in itself contains some good and some bad for the Seasiders. Dan Ballard, the long-time concern, is fit and plays. Ellis Sims, heartbreakingly yesterday, after training had finished, practicing penalties, because that's how this will be divided if the football can't do it. And he felt something go, sat on the bus to London for 4.5 hours, and cannot take his place in this side. Keshi Anderson is the man to come in, so that means that Demi Mitchell, so influential in this semi-finals build. There's a Lincoln player changing the boots now. This I cannot understand. They've been out there for a good half hour warming up. They know what the conditions under feet are, and we're going to have to wait a little delay as somebody's decided they didn't have the right footwear, Jackal. Unthinkable.
Yeah, that could be a little bit of nerves, that, you know, as well. He's probably thinking they've gone out, He's run around them and he might be thinking, well, I don't feel right here. You know, there might be something. So it could be a little bit of nerves as well.
Well, Tony Harrington has been sensible about this. He's in a luminous green colour. The player in question was young Brennan Johnson, so let's hope he didn't learn that from his dad. Blackpool are going to play from right to left here as we look at the press box. You may get a different view if you're listening to us and watching the TV pictures, because the cameras are on the other gantry. Players given the opportunity to remind everybody there's no place for any sort of inequality, discrimination. That is now done. The business is about to proceed, and it does proceed. The whistle goes from Tony Harrington, and Lincoln in all black attack down the left-hand side for the first of what will be nervy minutes for both sides out there. Two teams, Jacko, it's fair to say, who are both front foot teams.
Yeah, they are. They're very much so. I expect Lincoln to probably have a little bit more of the ball because of the way they play, and when they played against Blackpool before, but Blackpool can punish them on them counter-attacks as well.
Ball is with the Lincoln centre-backs. Young Joe Walsh getting the nod ahead of Lewis Montsma as Blackpool try and pilch possession back. They can't, and Lincoln can swing it down this near side. Garbutt's first test defensively is up against Brennan Johnson, who gets to the byline. Low ball in across the face of goal, and it's an Ollie Turton own goal. Would you believe? Turton trying to clear. We've had 53 seconds. Johnson got to the byline. Cross came in too easily, and Ollie Turton coming back to try and tidy up has put it into his own net. What a calamitous start for Blackpool. It's Blackpool 0, Lincoln City 1.
Yeah, it's a bad start there. The cross has come in too easily. It's been allowed to run it at the full back there, and he's got the ball. He's whipped it across there. We're just having a look at it now. It's built up down this right hand side. He's gets a 1v1 on the left back there against Garbutt. The centre back's getting in position. He's dummied it, and it's just gone onto him. So the dummy's actually thrown him a little bit. When you look at it back now, he just steps over it, doesn't get a contact, can't get his feet round, can't twist his body round and get the clearance. He's too close to the goal. But that little dummy there has just caused the problem.
Well. It's a funny old game. They say it doesn't seem too funny at the minute. Ollie Turton, goal scorer in the semi-final at the right end, has had the misfortune to tuck it past Chris Maxwell, and Blackpool, well, I think the only positive you can say is they've got an awful long time to repair the damage.
Yeah, it's obviously very early in the game, so they've still got plenty of time to do it. These things, though, first goal's vital in these big games.
Oh, dear me, what a gift. What a gift. Almost lost for words. And Blackpool, the first thing they've got to do now is clear their heads, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be. Obviously, that would have rocked them a little bit. They just need to stay calm, stay settled. They know there's a long way to go. Just get them playing himself back into this game now.
Picture Neil Critchley on screen. Penny for his thoughts. Lincoln go back to the goalkeeper through Aoma, who will come and look for it again. He gets it. Tayu Aoma with Blackpool now picking up possession just inside their own half. Shocker of a start at Wembley. Blackpool 0, Lincoln City 1, and it's an own goal. The cruelest of ways to go behind. Here's Dan Ballard, halfway inside his own half. Goes long, looks for Yates. Yates has to hold it. No Sims, let me remind you. After that late injury yesterday, Lincoln have it, and they have a free kick on halfway. When you think of all the crazy goals that you can concede, well, the initial thought, and we both said it, Jacko, was the cross came in too easy. Luke Garbutt's got to do better at stopping that. And then it was a series of, will you have it, will I have it? Somebody dummies it. Tom Hopper tried to turn it in and missed it. Chris Maxwell was thrown by that, and poor old Ollie Turton as well.
Yeah, I just don't think he could get his body turned round. I don't think he was expecting it. He's running back facing the goal. But like you said, Garbutt's got to work harder. It's that early in the game. You've got to get those key things right, because they know he's going to run at you. You know Jono's going to try and get at you and run it, and he let him into the box. That was the thing. He would have kept him out the box. There's a little bit more room to work with.
Many think he hadn't changed his boots, he wouldn't have done that, but that's the man we waited for before the kick-off, and his first touch in anger was to set up that Ollie Turton own goal 53 seconds on my unofficial stopwatch. Oh, dear me. Right, now let's set about doing something and getting your game together, as Michael Jackson has already said. It's a throw-in on the far side. If the club do want any omens, in 2001, Blackpool conceded against Leyton Orient inside the first minute in equally bizarre fashion when Phil Barnes missed his kick. They went on to win 4-2 on that occasion, and they've got work to do if they're going to be able to do that again. Turton throws the ball down the line. Here's Keshi Anderson. He's looking on this near side at Dimmy Mitchell, but Lincoln will pick it off. It was Mitchell rather than Anderson. He was the target. Lincoln are playing out from the back. Michael Appleton standing, tracksuit trousers, arms in pocket. Neil Critchley phlegmatically, arms behind his head, and Lincoln have it on the far side. They bring it out towards this near side. Embleton's going to play in the more advanced position by the look of it, Michael, and leave Anderson as a midfielder, basically. Here they come down the right again. They had Joy. It's coming in again from this side, and James Husband decides it better go out of town, and it's a corner on this near side to Lincoln City. We're in the 6th minute, and the Imps from Sincilbank lead, not by courtesy of one of their own players, but from Ollie Turton's misfortune.
They've not had a chance to settle yet, Blackpool, because that goal's come so early. It's just rocked them a little bit. Lincoln have obviously settled into this game now.
It is on this near side, and the corner is taken, swinging, headed away by Husband. As far as the edge of the D, they go down the other side, Lincoln, having a lot of Joe out wide, and Dan Ballard has cleared his lines. George Grant on that occasion getting it across the box, and it'll be a throw-in to Lincoln on the far side. I think they're all stunned away to our right-hand side by that adversity.
Yeah, they just need a little bit of spell of possession or something to get them back into the game, Blackpool. They just need to just get through this little bit of a spell now, because it's human nature. It's going to have rocked them. It's such a big build-up, and you go behind 1-0 after 50 seconds. So they just need to find a way of just getting themselves into this game now.
Throw into Ollie Turton and Blackpool. They're edging it down the line. Turton will take it on halfway, looking down the line. No big physical presence of Ellis Sims, of course. He's missing. And Ballard makes sure this is out of play for a throw-in on that far side. Blackpool 0, Lincoln City 1. Ollie Turton's first minute own goal, as Lincoln have a throw-in away on the far side. Embleton is pushing Lincoln back. They've got a youngster at the back. That's not the best ball to the goalkeeper, who slashes at it, and Kenny Dougal can nod it out wide where he thought Dimmy Mitchell was. Well, he's not, and it's going down and wanting a free kick, Blackpool, and not getting it. Keshi Anderson. Here's Rodgers against Garbutt again, and Garbutt has lunged in, and Brennan Rodgers has induced a yellow card for Luke Garbutt. We've not been playing 8 minutes. I hate it when I'm proved right, Michael Jackson, but I did say in the build-up, Brennan Johnson, both at Bloomfield Road and Sincilbank, ran the show. Yeah,
he started really well. Obviously, that first involvement in that first goal would have buoyed him, but it's straight away, he only thinks of one thing, he's going at you. So Garbutt will have known, his experience from that last goal would have said to him, listen, I need to get tighter to him there. But what he's done there, he's just dived in, give the free kick away. Now he's on a yellow card with about 80 minutes left in the game. And if I was the manager of Lincoln, I'd be saying every opportunity you have to get at him now. So he's going to have to be really careful.
And Neil Critchley's got previous for bringing people off when they are on long-term yellow cards. Here's the free kick. Hopper. It's a lovely ball too, and it's a free header, and it's high over the bar, and they have just not started in this game yet, Blackpool.
No, it's rocked them. You can see it's rocked them. You can see the looking around. The senior players now just need to get a grip, get a few passes of the ball, try and get it into them frontmen a little bit quicker.
And it's forced Dan Ballard to go long.
That's better.
Now Anderson might pick it up off Jerry Yates. The run is down the outside of Lincoln on this near side. Garbutt is bombing into the box and has it at the byline, Luke Garbutt. It's forced away by Lincoln. Weight of numbers more than anything else. Here's Husband. He goes left and finds Kenny Dougal, the Australian, celebrating a call up to the national side. won't be thinking about anything like that until this is over. Here's Embleton, good feet from him, but Lincoln at the near post defend well. Better though from Blackpool.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that now. They've got themselves up in Lincoln's half then. It's a good little bit of play down that left-hand side with Embleton as well. But Blackpool's strength is that front four as well. Can they get the ball into them as soon as they can?
Dougal, Anderson can't find Embleton, who's doing his manful best to get it back. Dougal can find it. It's going to break for Kevin Stewart. Haven't seen him at all yet in the early stages. And it's out with the unfortunate Turton. Back it comes to Kevin Stewart. But they must be listening to you, Jacko. They're enjoying this bit of possession of the football because they simply haven't had it, have they?
No, but you need it to get a touch to settle down, especially after an opening like that, just to make everyone feel a little bit more calmer about what's happening. They've still got a long way to go, so getting a feel of that ball now is important.
It's with James Husband on this near side. Stewart comes short. He'll do that all day long. And he uses Ballard. He's still standing between the centre-backs. Ballard comes across the pitch and finds James Husband. Garbutt is on the touchline, but he is ignored. It goes forward. Yates might be between defender and goalkeeper here, but Alex Palmer, who missed one of the two semi-finals under the concussion protocol, the much-travelled Joe Bursick took his place. Fit enough for the second leg. He's fit enough again here on loan from West Bromwich Albion. Blackpool 0, Lincoln 1. As Mitchell is there, goes down, doesn't win a free kick or the ball, and it's Tayo Edun who comes forward with it for Lincoln, who come with a big diagonal looking for Johnson. Why wouldn't they? Who again has Garbutt in attendance. This time Johnson runs out of real estate. Will be a goal kick, and Chris Maxwell will, although being behind on the scoreboard, know the need for Blackpool to settle down. He just retrieves the ball. He's got Ballard in close attendance. Lincoln quite happy to let the ball be played out from there. There's Maxwell and now Ballard, who steps forward. He's got Stewart infield, but goes towards the far side, and Embleton, who I think has got a free roll behind Jerry Yates. He's popped up on either side.
Yeah, the thing with Embleton, he plays it obviously different than Sims. When Sims plays there, he plays up with Yates, and when you look up, it's easier to find the two of them. When he plays as that number 10, it's done differently. He comes a bit deeper.
And Blackpool are giving it away here. Lincoln have it still inside their own half, and they swing a very long and ambitious ball out to Regan Poole, a former MK Dons defender. Garbutt is solid with his head, and Keshi Anderson brings the ball down for Blackpool. It's with James Husband, and Husband slides it forward for Anderson, who's fouled by a combination of Regan Poole and Conor McGrandles. Free kick. Kenny Dougal wants to get it going. And the Blackpool player needs a boot tightening up. It is Elliot Embleton. Husband says we're going to go long here and put a bit of pressure on the Lincoln back line. We are 13 minutes in at Wembley. Coming up to 13 minutes, 12 minutes, 38 seconds. And it's a free kick to Blackpool. Lincoln are defending a high line. James Husband delivery is crucial. It's high in the air, hanging. Second ball is picked up by Stewart. Now then, here's Mitchell trying to weave his way to the byline, and that will be Blackpool's first corner of the game, to great cheers from down in front and away to my right. I think the fans have just about come to terms with the manner that they went behind after 53 seconds. They're here to give their full and undying support to Blackpool, and I'm sure they will do that. Garbutt, whose delivery is usually right on the money, is going to cross Bloomfield Road to take this left-footed. Surely early doors it's going to be, let's have a look at what the keeper's got underneath that crossbar. Here's Luke Garbutt, waits. Embleton comes towards him, and it comes headed away easily by Lincoln City. And it's back with James Husband, who goes pretty central. Well, looks towards this near side where there is nobody in Tangerine and White. It's out of play for a throw-in, and Lincoln City will come across here and take it. 14 gone after the most bizarre start to a playoff game there's probably ever been, let alone finals. Ollie Turton crashing the ball into his own net after Brennan Johnson's right wing cross. 53 seconds on the clock. If they're going to win it, they're going to have to do it the hard way. Lincoln take the throw in. Husband heads it back the other way. Ball is picked up by Dougal. Lively ball too. Good from the Australian. They've got it back towards the centre-back Dan Ballard in the centre circle. He's got Ollie Turton awaiting possession on the right-hand side. Clips it down the outside, looking for Embleton, who tries to take the most difficult ball over his shoulder, and it's come off him. And Lincoln will clear. But Blackpool and Mitchell pick up possession. Edge of the box, Demi Mitchell shoots low, doesn't get all of the contact. He wants it easy for Alex Palmer.
Yeah, that's better from Blackpool. A lot better there than Embleton's made that run down the side of the centre-back there. I think there's space down there. That's what Sims does really well when he's playing. They look up, the wide man pulls him and he goes and spins down those channels and they find him. When he's in there though, he's strong, he's capable of going past people. Embleton is a little bit different when he plays there.
Yep, different type at all. And if you are just joining us, Ellis Sims not here today, injured after training yesterday, taking penalty practice, felt a groin and not able to play. Devastating for the Everton loanee. Here's Demi Mitchell, that busy running style of his. Yet referee has brought it back and given the first free kick, and it was a free kick, and it will be in the right back position.
He looks. We know about Demi Mitchell. He looks a threat against that left back as well. That left back's only a young player as well. I know Mitchell is, but he could be the difference. Can they get the ball to him as much as they can?
Yep, Lincoln. Good record against the Seasiders this year. Won 3-2 at Bloomfield Road and then came from 2 down to draw 2 apiece. Here's Yates, thought he was going to have an extravagant volley there. He's gone to Garbett, who might run out of space, wins a corner. Better from Blackpool.
Yeah, you can see where the space is in that back four for Lincoln. The gaps between the centre-back and the full-back are big. Yates has just made a great run off the shoulder there, but they've got to find them with quality, and the two front men have got to work together. The gap between the two of them at the moment is too big for me. They need to be a little bit closer together so they can actually play off each other as well.
It will be Elliot Embleton to take this corner on 17 minutes. It's in and cleared by Lincoln. Mitchell tries to cushion it down for Keshi Anderson but can't, and he's fouled again, Demi Mitchell, and Blackpool will have a free kick and a third of the way into the Lincoln City half. Ballard has got himself forward. Blackpool supporters finding their voices.
This is a very similar situation to the Oxford game, isn't it, in the set play? Similar sort of area where they're vital, these set plays. Can you just nail these deliveries now, especially with Garbett, the left foot he's got?
Yeah, absolutely. Embleton is there to give a right foot option, and he's striding back and takes it, Embleton. Not very well. Blackpool will pick up the pieces through Husband. He dinks it towards the box, but Lincoln will clear towards that far side. Garbett is still on that far side of the field. Garbett skinned by Johnson twice, once causing the own goal, the second earning Garbett a very early booking. He's got to mind his P&Qs. Now here's Kenny Dougal. Schoolboy error, picks his foot up to trap in, it goes underneath. He's allowed to recover it on this near side. Lincoln quite happy to let Blackpool have it in these areas, and by these areas I mean halfway inside their own half. Hopper will shuffle along the line, but Ballard's got enough time to pick an opportunity. Here's Yates in that area that Michael Jackson has already identified. Jerry Yates penalised for controlling the ball with an arm. Free kick, Lincoln.
Yes, it's still a good run from Yates though. He's done that 2 or 3 times now. They've got to realise though, when he actually goes and makes that run, that other 3 attacking players with him, go and get up and join him, because he's got the ability to beat somebody there. It might be a square pass to come in just to finish it off, but at least Blackpool have settled into the game a little bit more now.
Well, I think Jerry Yates gave himself up there. It bounced up and struck a considerable part of his arm, and easy decision for the liner on that far side to advise Tony Harrington that was a clear case of handball. Free kick is taken down that far side. Turton challenges, Ballard's up, ball drops for Kevin Stewart, who always manages to fiddle it out of a tight situation. Here's Anderson. Lincoln read his intention and knew he wanted to step inside and didn't let him. Regan Pools hurt himself in that challenge. He's carrying an arm rather awkwardly. He'll be okay though. Tough man sign from MK Dons, with Blackpool and Husband in possession. Here's Keshi Anderson. back with Luke Garbutt, who again uses Husband. It's more controlled from Blackpool and more methodical, as Dan Ballard is ushered forward by Chris Maxwell, miles out of his box, spends loads of time there. The Ballards have found Anderson, who is nudged off it again, giving a lot of free kicks away, Lincoln, and they can't do this for too often with your Garbutts around. This surely will be a left footer after Embleton's right-footed effort wasn't the best. Anderson, good close control and bought the foul. And this free kick's what, 27, 28 yards out?
Yeah, it's well within, for him, it's well within range for Garbutt from there. I've seen him do that before. Another again, it's a great opportunity. But anything that goes into that Lincoln back four, they don't look settled to me. They don't look like they're in full control when the ball goes into any attacker of Blackpool. Like you just said, they're giving free kicks away. They look vulnerable in between the centre-back and the full-back. Blackpool have just got to keep trying to find that front forward quality.
Can Garbutt get it up and over? He has, straight into the arms of the goalkeeper, Alex Palmer. So no real worry for the on-loan keeper. That free kick coming on 21 minutes. But Palmer got everything behind it, as you would expect there. Long down the middle. But Blackpool clear. Here's Anderson again, just outside the centre circle, uses Dougal. And now Anderson lays it off, and Lincoln read it and break the play up. And now they've got an attack of their own on that far side. Kevin Stewart gets a very good block in. Mitchell switches it out towards Embleton, right on halfway. Turton wants to gallop up outside of him. And it's back with Dan Ballard. Husband wants it. I think you said you fancied Lincoln might have more of the ball, but certainly the way it's emerging, Blackpool are having the lion's share of the possession, Michael.
Yeah, I think that's because of that goal. You see games at Wembley, don't you? You've seen it yesterday with Brentford. What happens is they get the goal, and sometimes they just take a step back because they don't need to go and do anything. They're 1-0 up.
They certainly are, Lincoln City, courtesy of a Blackpool man, poor Ollie Turton, with an own goal inside the first minute at Wembley. When he went to bed last night, he wouldn't have been dreaming of that happening. Here's Ballard. He is one of the experienced players. He should be able to put it behind him. He has to put it behind him. Here's Husband. Anderson looking for space, but Yates will be the target. Easy for Aomi to knock that one away. And Luke Garbutt's there very quickly. They've got to get closer to Jerry Yates, haven't they? We've said it already, Michael.
Yeah, I think you can see him on the other side shouting to the Wyman on the far side, trying to get him over a little bit more because he's just getting lost outside there.
Back it is with Ballard. I've got a question for you in a minute. Next break in play. Ballard uses Turton. Might come all the way back to Chris Maxwell. It does. And Husband has it. Uses Kenny Dougal. Husband again in possession with Ballard. Coming up towards halfway. And there's Embleton, tight to the touchline. Two with him and two win out. Kevin Stewart tries to get it back on all fours, doesn't. But Husband intervenes. Lincoln have it again, and Blackpool are stretched at the back with Husband being away to throw in. Just how much of a consideration do you think it would have been for Neil Critchley, knowing that Ellis Sims was going to miss out, to go for a straight pair up top with Gary Medine?
Yeah, maybe he thinks in this sort of, is Medine in that sort of condition for this sort of game? You know, he might have been worried about his condition. It'd be something he'd probably be thinking about as the game goes on, definitely.
Here's Regan Poole, nudged by Anderson, and it's away for a throw-in on this near side to Lincoln City, who lead Blackpool by a goal to nil. Listen to BBC Radio Lancashire, the first part of the BBC Radio Lancashire listening area double-header. Dan Jewell and Mike Jackson will be in the company of none other, and who else would you suspect, Derek Quinn tomorrow for Morecambe as they take on the men from South Wales in Mike Flynn's Newport County. Blackpool have got work to do here. They trail Lincoln City by an extraordinary own goal in 53 seconds. A goal to nil it is. The space on the edge for a shot here, and it's come off the top of the crossbar, and once again that is too easy, getting the shot away. and but for the graze of a woodwork and an inch or two either way, that could have been 2-0.
Yeah, it's Grant, isn't it? He's a quality player at this level. You just see it there. He just pulls off. He can't get out to get that shot, and he's allowed to turn on the edge of the box, and it's just clipped off the bar. They've got away with that, Blackpool there.
Can they rub the imp's noses in it after that? George Grant off the top of the bar. Here's Anderson trying to get the ball down. It's lively out there. Sprinklers have been on. And it's Anderson on this near side and uses Garbutt. And Anderson wants to use his body. So Grant hitting the bar on 23 minutes. And it's still 1-0 Lincoln. Garbutt with a throw-in on this near side. Embleton shows but doesn't get it. Cashy Anderson will. Good tight control and a good turn. Levers his man away, and Embleton is just the wrong side of him. He has to chase it towards the byline. Still gets the crossing. High to the far post. Header is there over the bar. It's Jimmy Mitchell, and it won't cause Alex Palmer any bother. And the first chance they've got of getting a cross in from a deep position. Did well, Cashy Anderson, didn't he?
Yeah, he did well there. Just that little pass beforehand. If it would have been to the right side of him, he could have done it first time.
Yep, that's true. Blackpool 0, Lincoln City 1. As Lincoln and Palmer have it. He's in all pink, the Lincoln City goalkeeper. The two Blackpool subs having a little, I was going to say warm-up, they'll be warming up down there, but they're just having a little trot down there. I'll remind you who is on the bench in a second or two, but we're watching Lincoln come forward. Lovely little flick. Husband into the centre of midfield. Gives Stewart a lot of work to do, but he's up to it. I tell you what, if he had any suspicions with the hamstrings and the groins there, that would have been a test. He was at full stretch.
He was, wasn't he? He just got away from him. He needed to make that tackle then as well.
There's Dougal going back to Ballard, and now it's back with Maxwell. I promised you the Blackpool subs. They are more the sub-keeper. Gabriel, Thornley, Ekpiteta, Ward, Medine, and somewhat surprisingly CJ Hamilton. Husband is ploughing forward. Yates wanted it early, and now he still might get it edge of the box. Jerry Yates screws it back. Now here's Jimmy Mitchell, and shoots, and what a save from Palmer. Mitchell couldn't beat the goalkeeper, but great work again from Jerry Yates. Here's Kevin Stewart on halfway. Ballard goes down. Tackle is by Hopper. So that's the first real test of the keeper from Jimmy Mitchell, but Palmer was up to it.
Yeah, it's again, they can't deal with Yates. They can't deal with his movement. He's got too much clever movement, too much running power for him. But that's a great opportunity there. I know it's a good save by the keeper, but it's at a good height for him. You watch it pop back out here. It's at a good height for him.
Yep. We've seen a replay of it. It eluded James Husband. What on earth was he doing there? And Jimmy Mitchell struck it. Not the best he's ever struck, but it did test the goalkeeper. Now, Blackpool in and around the edge of the box. Through Luke Garbutt, I should say. Towards the byline. It's cannoned off 1 and 2, and Dougal is there battling and can't get it. Brings his man down. That'll be a free kick for Lincoln City. Clock ticks by. 28 on the clock. Blackpool 0, Lincoln City 1. Alex Palmer's first energetic save. Kenny Dougal is questioning the decision, but he did lay arms on his man, so I think he got it right. Here's Ayomi at the back for Lincoln City. Just stood up in the air. Up goes James Husband. Ball will come down for Lincoln on the edge of the centre circle, and Grant, he goes across the pitch. You quite rightly picked him out. He's been a consistently good player at this level, George Grant, hasn't he?
Yeah, the stat just flashed up there. 17 goals and 13 assists or something this season. That's flashed up on the camera, but yeah, he's a talented player. He was at Forest. I remember him going on loan to Lincoln in the first place, and they permanently signed him.
Long from the goalkeeper Palmer. BBC Radio Lancashire, Dan Jewell alongside us to tidy up all things local and national at half-time and full-time. It's a Lincoln City throw-in. Not from there it isn't, but Liner's quite happy for them to take it, so Regan Poole obliges. And back it is with George Grant. Infield. Now is Poole offside? He is. Went too early, or the ball was delayed, whichever one you choose. Liner on this near side got it right. We're coming up to the half hour. Jacko, we talked about Blackpool needing to clear their heads, needing to come to terms with it. I think they've done okay.
They've grown into the game as the game's gone on. They've had some decent enough chances, some good opportunities around their final third with a bit more quality. They would have been in on goal even more. But for me, what's refreshing, they can cause that Lincoln back four problems. You can see they can do that.
Yep, we just got a shot on the in-stadium monitor of Ellis Sims sitting, obviously not in his match day kit, taking a drink. He must be absolutely devastated. Missing through a groin injury. That one's come back off Jerry Yates, picked up by Kenny Dougal. One or two just taking a chance to slow things down and gulp some oxygen in, because it must be mighty warm down there. It's playoffs, of course it's warm. Long it goes. Other than 2007, Jacko, when you played in incessant, drowning, teeming rain.
Yeah, it was, but you can see it does sap you out there. You can see the lads when they're not getting to full sprints all the time.
Here comes Brennan Johnson again. This time Luke Garbutt does enough, and it will be a throw-in on this near side.
He's their biggest threat, isn't he?
Oh.
You can see he's got that turbo pace, hasn't he? He's got that little next gear, which the best players have that extra gear, and you can see him when he like drops down and all of a sudden goes again. So Garbutt's got a game on against him today.
But how come when Forrest can't buy a goal for long stretches of the blooming season in the Championship, has he not been recalled? But lots of those little incidences happen. We asked the question, we'll never know the answer. Long it goes down the left for Lincoln. Blackpool want offside and get it in one of those delayed flag situations. And Chris Maxwell will go away towards that far side. George Grant clipping the top of the angle of bar and post. I'm just feeling at 2-0. It would be a long, long way back for Blackpool. It's bad enough at 1. As Chris Maxwell spots this up to the satisfaction of the linesman on this near side, and then goes out towards Dan Ballard on the touchline. The husband is left of the goalkeeper and gets it from the skipper. Is his aqua green kit today. Embleton makes the run. Anderson comes short and tries to find Embleton without looking, and as a consequence gives cheap possession away, which Lincoln are trying to use. Here's Anderson coming back to rectify his wrong. Yates goes down. Blackpool have it, referee unmoved, and Garbutt will go across the centre circle and find Dan Ballard. Turton is on the touchline, and here's Demi Mitchell trying to go up against Teo Eden. Blackpool have it around the edge of the box, but facing the wrong way. It's with Kevin Stewart. Whips a long ball in, too high and too long for anybody, and it will be a goal kick. 32 minutes gone. BBC Radio Lancashire station. Blackpool 0, Lincoln City 1. Here are the thoughts on the first half hour of this from Michael Jackson.
Yeah, obviously it was a disappointing start from Blackpool, but they've grown into the game now. Just for me, with this front four that they've got, because it's different than what they've been playing. You get an Anderson who comes and joins inside, and usually then you'd have a striker running down the side when the gaps, but because they haven't got that striker on both sides, they're making the runs and it's not on sometimes. They need to get more close together, that front four, and try and work off each other.
Yep, they certainly do look a bit light at the top of the pitch at the minute. Here are Lincoln in the centre circle. Yates puts pressure on and wins possession. Steals possession. He's charging at the edge of the box. He's got it out onto his right foot. He's got support alongside. Lincoln get back. Embleton is still there in the D. Dougal shoots left foot. He scores! The Australian header ripped it into the corner of the net. And now the right-hand side of the stadium is on fire. And Blackpool, not only have they grown into this match, they're levelling it now. Kenny Dougal's third of the season. Blackpool 1, Lincoln City 1.
What a great goal that is. Again, who's it started from? Yeah, it starts from Yates. He closes down the whole back four and he pinches it. Then he runs. He's got no support to him. There's an overlap on the side by. He joins in on him with Embleton. Squares it back. I thought Dougal was going to pass it, and all of a sudden he just takes it on himself. It's a great strike, and it's just before half time as well, after the start. What a great goal.
He just looked as if he didn't fancy it on his least favoured left-hand side, and then had a second thought, put his laces across it, and he was always going away away from the goalkeeper Alex Palmer. Embleton is there on the edge of the box. We're just seeing the replay. Here's Dougal into the bottom of Alex Palmer's right hand, and Blackpool are making the noise now at 1-1.
Yeah, the keeper gets a little finger on it as well, but the defending from Lincoln to close him down there was shocking. Honestly, that back four is there to be got at. The two centre-backs don't look like they've played together before.
Well, in all fairness, they haven't too many times, because Adam Jackson's injured and Lewis Montsma had a bit of a horror show against Sunderland, and young Joe Walsh is coming alongside the more regular of them, Tim Aoma. But yeah, it looks like passing strangers at times, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, because he scored early, you mentioned it before, then he just sat back in and he didn't really go and attack then, and they've let Blackpool come on to them. That back four isn't good enough to let teams to come on to it. They don't defend properly.
It's 1-1, and Ollie Turton will feel an awful lot better. Here's Yates, again instrumental in starting off, but that's too much power in it from Kevin Stewart out of play. Talking about getting a goal at a good time, brilliant. That was a super time to score.
Yeah, because obviously after that first goal, you can see the energy drain out of them, and they've got themselves back in, and they've got that goal back now. What a great time to get the goal as well.
Goal time on 33 minutes. It's now in the 36th minute, and Wembley looks a totally different place with smiles on Tangerine faces. They've conceded a gift early doors. They've got themselves back on level terms, and Lincoln are forced to just hump it from one end of Wembley to the other. And just listen to the Blackpool supporters now. That's what they've come down the M6, the M1, the M40 or whatever. All roads lead to Wembley if you've got that precious ticket, and they're here to enjoy now. That's come off Husband. Great control again from Anderson, who's got lovely feet. But this time it comes off and back to Johnson. Dougal's not having any messing about. He's just dumped Brennan Johnson on his backside. And Lincoln have a free kick. What they must not do now, Michael, is leave the back door open before the break.
No, because you've got him on this side, Johnson here. You can see what a handful he is when they get the ball to him. He's their key threat. So they've just stepped out with the ball there, played a poor pass and allowed it then to be played into him, and they give a free kick away. You don't need to be doing, just try and stop the service to him if you can. Stop the service, and then when it's going in, just get tight to him. Don't let him get turned.
Level with the edge of the penalty area, 5 in from this near side touchline. Lincoln City have a free kick. BBC Radio Lancashire Station. In it comes, needs a header. It's come off, it's still at the edge of the box. Shot will come in, it's high from Teo Eden, and it's into the Blackpool supporters for a goal kick. Kenny Dougal, a scorer in the semi-final. He'd only got one in the whole entire season. In fairness to him, he didn't start till the end of October for him. But goals in successive games for the Australian to celebrate his call-up to the national squad. Maxwell. The fans you can hear, and they are making a row, are the Blackpool supporters. Yates climbs, discomforts them. That might be, it is a Blackpool throw-in on that far side. But yeah, I mean, the way he pinched possession there, the centre-back thought he had a week and a day to play, and all of a sudden, Yates is all over him like a rash.
Yeah, he leads this team. Honestly, I think he's a great player.
Cross comes in, it's cleared by Lincoln City, who are now seeing a Blackpool side with their tails up here, and they're forced to concede a throw-in on the far side.
I think he sets the tone for the team, the way he works, because the rest of the team was starting to wobble a little bit. He's still running round, he's making runs, he's trying to get on the ball, and all of a sudden he drags the rest of the team with him, and they really needed him.
They made a mess of that throw-in, however. Blackpool and Lincoln have a chance, level with the edge of the penalty area on their left. You would think that we'll know a bit more about this maybe towards 6 o'clock tonight, that if Blackpool are to keep Jerry Yates, they're going to have to get into the Championship, because I think he'll want to play higher next year. Here is Kevin Stewart, Dougal, the goal scorer. They've got Embleton into possession here, all very tight by the touchline, too tight, and Lincoln can get it back. Mitchell's not having any of it, and he's got it back here. Doesn't know where he's going, thinks he's fouled, referee doesn't, and he's said carry on, Tony Harrington, who is letting this game flow. Towards this near side come Lincoln City. Dougal knocks it out of play on this near side. All of a sudden Neil Critchley is animated. He's having words with Elliot Embleton. He's getting his message across, Neil Critchley. It's back with Ayoma at the back for Lincoln. Through young Joe Walsh into this side today. And Blackpool have got it away again here. Into the box. Embleton's lining this up. Shoots. Poor contact. And it was Kevin Stewart who was overlapping, would you believe, and wanted it. But as you say, Michael, Lincoln are giving the ball away so cheaply in crucial areas at times.
Yeah, Blackpool have got that trap set on them on that press now. So they've done it 3 or 4 times now, and they keep springing them, and then they're wide open then, Lincoln.
Well, they're looking to use Brennan Johnson again. Maxwell thinks about it, then does come for it. Brennan Johnson gave it up on that occasion. Maxwell bowls it out towards Turton on the far side. And it's back with Ballard. And using Maxwell and James Husband back to the skipper. The calming influence, as we've heard. I need to be miserable about the place. I've got a job to do. Well, he had precious little chance with the one that flew past him. Stewart looking towards this near side, and Anderson. Garbutt was inside of him, but Anderson had to wait and control, and now he's teeing it up. Garbutt's on his right foot. He won't shoot with that. Back it comes towards Dougal. We thought he wouldn't shoot with his left, but we're rather glad he did. Here's Anderson on this near side. Dougal, little triangle. Garbutt gets it into the box. Mitchell at the far post, heads, keeper
that's
save.
A great ball in that.
And Mitchell's header was a good downward one, forcing Palmer into a save. And the chances gradually are coming Blackpool's way.
Yeah, it's a great quality ball in from Garbutt. That's what he's got in his locker there on that left foot. And he's done well, Mitchell, there. He gets up at that back stick well.
Yeah, it's not his strong suit heading the ball, but that was good contact. In the centre circle, Stewart wins the header. Yates can't join in. He's still coming back from a trip to put pressure on the goalkeeper. Ayoma towards this near side, up towards halfway. Garbutt is there, surely fouled. Yes. Oh, which way is he giving the free kick here?
Yeah, it's Blackpool's, yeah.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah.
No attempt to go for the ball, just levering his man away from it. 41.5 minutes on BBC Radio Lancashire on the clock. It is Blackpool 1, Lincoln City 1. A first minute Ollie Turton own goal, now levelled up by Kenny Dougal's strike. And I think everybody having a breather out there. It's Ballard looking over the top. That's not his best ball, far too straight, out of play for a goalkeeper. Hand of apology goes up. Neil Critchley turns away in disgust and is seeking some H2O to refresh himself. He and Mike Garrity and Colin Calderwood will be preparing the half-time words of wisdom, and it'll be done in a different complexion now that Dougal equaliser has brought Blackpool back on level terms. National Stadium resplendent in very hot southeast sunshine. There's Husband, doesn't win their header. Garbutt's got to be aware of Johnson's presence. He goes back to his goalkeeper. Johnson will continue the press, and that causes Maxwell to put it out of play for a throw-in. So it's the wonder of what harrying can do at either end of the pitch at the minute. Throw into Lincoln on that far side. Towards the touchline. Comes off a Blackpool man. So 2 minutes of normals before the fourth official is called upon. Michael Appleton too having a drink there. As this Lincoln throw-in is halfway inside their own, halfway inside Blackpool's half on the left-hand side. Hardly seen Liam Bridcut. There he is, tidying up and going back to his centre-backs. And one of them, Aomi, is encouraged to come forward. Conor McGrandles, he's been quiet too by his standards. He's got it back on halfway, looking for Johnson. And it's thumped towards the middle. Blackpool have Stewart there to help him get it back to Chris Maxwell. Long over the top. Anderson, has he kept that in? Yes, he has. And Blackpool might have a break on here. Appleton's unhappy. He thought it was out of play. That's a free kick Blackpool-wise. That's Keshi Anderson keeping a ball alive that everybody else had given up for dead.
Unbelievable touch, that one. He pulls it right out the sky. But they're getting frustrated, Lincoln. You can see especially Poole down this side as well. And you can see with Bridcut, they're trying to get around. Blackpool's players are trying to get either side of Bridcut because they know they leave him isolated, because the two midfield players for them go that far forward. There's loads of space either side. You can see they can just fire that pass in there more. He can't do anything. He's overloaded in there with the Blackpool players.
And Blackpool have this free kick in the last minute of the first half. Discussion between Kenny Dougal and Tony Harrington. I know not what about. It's amicable. Embleton and Garbutt are over it. Lincoln again defend very high, edge of the box.
Good ball.
Embleton's ball in, penalty spot area. Kevin Stewart can't get, the referee has stopped it anyway. And Lincoln will move towards stoppage time. Fourth official is poised and ready. We haven't had either medics required. Does that say one? Can't see, it's not little. Was it a one? A minute,
yeah,
1 minute. We couldn't see it for the sunshine, I don't think, Michael.
It's a great response from Blackpool, isn't it, after that start to the game. So they'll be delighted going into half-time, knowing that they could have scored a couple more, really.
Blackpool 1, Lincoln City 1. We're in a minute of stoppage time at the end here of the first half. Luke Garbutt, I think he thought that was going to go out for a goal kick at first, but in the end he makes a decision. Regan Poole goes back. Bit of cloud cover, the players will welcome that.
Yeah, they'll be delighted, won't they?
As Lincoln, can they mount one last attack? We know what they did with their very first attack in this first half. Anderson sees his man away. It'll be a Blackpool throw-in, if indeed they have time to take it, which I am very sceptical about whether they will have. Tony Harrington's had a look at both wrists and says, "I'll have the football, please." It is half-time at Wembley Stadium in the 2021 League One playoff final. Scoreline: Blackpool 1, Lincoln City 1. What did you make of it, Jacko?
I thought at the start, obviously, it was a disappointing start for Blackpool, but then as they looked a little bit rocky for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and all of a sudden they grew into the game, and Yates up front just set the tone for everything, and he settled in, he created a few more chances, and then all of a sudden then they get the goal. Great strike, and I think they've been the better side for me as the half grew on, and I think that back four, I've not mentioned it a couple of times, I think that back four Lincoln are on the rack for me. I think there's chances against them.
Ollie Turner on goal in 53 seconds. Kenny Dougal levelling it up, and you would think the way the goals have gone in, the times the goals have gone in, Blackpool would be happier going down that tunnel.
Definitely, that's a young group.
Follow in your heart, in spirit, in soul. You make every tackle, score every goal. You're part of it, wherever you are in the world. From the first minute until the last kick. Victories, heartbreaks, you're part of the fabric, the passion, devotion, supercharging emotion. For you, there is only one. Abiding loyalty, togetherness that is second to none. Follow every kick, every tackle, every goal. With access to live stream games and matchday commentary, with coverage spanning the globe. Behind the scene content, newsletters and match highlights. There's no better way for you to get closer to your club. And with iFollow sales supporting them, there's no better way to show your love. When you can't be there with iFollow.
She's definitely left her mark on this game.
Come over this way, Harris.
Ready?
Football at home with Screwfix, proud partner of the EFL.
Whatever your reason for moving this season, we'll make it our goal to sell your home for the best price possible. This is Andy, local coach and football craze father of 4. Andy, Kate, Sam, Dale, Stanley and Rose, and Creed the dog, are looking for a bigger home. They've come to Your Move, as last year we sold over 12,000 homes for our customers up and down the country, whoever they support. Go online and book a valuation today. Your Move, official supporter of the EFL.
Papa John's Trophy. Get your kicks with this real game changer. Want full-on flavours? Then get a slice of the action. And be ready to smash it in like an absolute pro. Big moments just got even tastier. You game? Order now. Papa John's, official partner of the EFL.
It's your family, your teammates, your squad. This is football. And in football, you are never alone. FIFA 21, win as one.
That's sick.
What a save! Now it's your turn to save too. Smart meters and the in-home display show you how much gas and electricity you use, so you could reduce waste and save like a pro.
Unbeatable. And how about that for a shot? What a sensational comeback. Unmissable.
Oh, it's in the back of the net.
EFL on Quest. Saturday at 9 on Quest or stream on Discovery Plus.
First to 10.
Oh, he slotted it right in!
All right, 1-0. Ah, yes!
Football at Home with Screwfix, proud partner of the EFL.
That was just what came of it. This time, I think that, I've spoken to our players about the playing surface. Obviously, the atmosphere is going to be different because there's only 10,000 in the stadium, but it will still be a great occasion for us because we all see with the noise that happened here over the weekend with 1,500, 10,000 is going to be tremendous for everyone.
Interesting what you say about that Plymouth performance, because people do talk about teams and players having a Wembley wobble and not performing on the day just because of the nerves and the scale of the occasion. What do you do to sort of tackle that?
Yeah, I mean, we had 35,000 with us, and it was the first time in 20 years they had got to a playoff final. It was my first season in English football, and I think the occasion just got to us, and that sometimes happens. But I've got players here that I feel that the occasion on Monday could suit them. We've got game changers, we've got game winners, we've got players that have got really good experience.
Yeah, that experience is key, I'd imagine, isn't it? Just to keep an arm on the younger lads.
Yeah, of course, and we've had that over the playoff games, because the playoff games haven't been easy. We've played against a club that are the stature of Tranmere Rovers and dealt well with it, so we're going to have to do the same come Monday. And the experienced players throughout the team who have had playoff experience before, have played at a higher level, will definitely help the younger players in the team.
Do you think Wembley will suit the Morecambe style of play?
I think it will. I think that we've got players and the pitch that like to take the ball to feet, like to run beyond. We obviously create the most chances in the league this season, and we're one of the highest scorers in the league, so we've got players that just want to go and score goals, and I think that playing surface will help us.
Yeah, the playing surface, you talk about it being slow. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's the atmosphere of the stadium or the type of surface it is, but you always watch England play and you never get an exciting England performance. It's always slow build-up, and if you watch the ball when it moves, it doesn't fizz as it does in many Premier League pitches. It slowly moves across the surface, and what it is, I'm not sure. It could be, the type of grass that is put into Wembley.
Derek Adams, the Morecambe manager, speaking ahead of their playoff final tomorrow against Newport County. We're with you from 2 o'clock, Bank Holiday Monday, that is tomorrow afternoon. Myself and Mike Jackson will be right here, probably in these very seats at Wembley Stadium, with Derek Quinn joining us in the commentary box for Morecambe's big day in League 2. At BBC Lanc Sport, by the way, if you're on Twitter, some behind-the-scenes photos of the Morecambe team making their way down to the capital a little bit earlier on today, staying tonight, preparing as normal, business as usual for Derek Adams as the Shrimps look to win promotion to League One. Looking to be out of League One by the time they do that are Blackpool, 1-1 against Lincoln City at half-time here at Wembley Stadium. Mike Jackson and Ian Chisnell alongside me, Dan Jewell, for full commentary here on Matchday Live on BBC Radio Lancashire. Well, Mike Jackson, that was a quiet, relaxing, sedate 45 minutes of football, wasn't it?
Yeah, we weren't expecting that start, were we? All of a sudden, you can see it sucked the life out of the players for 5 or 10 minutes, but they grew back into the game, which is credit to him. Again, I think Yates just drove them on from that position up front. He kept running, he kept being available, and he spooked that back four. He's worried them, you can tell that, and they've dropped deeper and he allowed them to come on. And Blackpool, with final balls, could have had even more chances, but they've been the better side for me. Can they now just keep giving the quality to that front four? Can they keep providing it to keep testing that back four of Lincoln and still be aware of the threat of Johnson and Grant? They've got to keep an eye on that, keep the door shut behind. They're attacking into this Blackpool end now as well.
It felt like a boxing match where one of the protagonists gets a whack on the chin really early on and has a little bit of a wobble and kind of tries to hold them up and goes in for a little hug and just settles himself and then starts throwing some punches. Blackpool seem to be reeling for 10-15 minutes and then utterly dominated.
It is, but I was saying to Jizzy, it's human nature that there's such a build-up to it, and then that happens early doors, and it's only natural that all of a sudden you take a backward step, and that's what Blackpool did, and they got away with it for that 5 or 10 minutes, but then they had a couple of attacks and it allowed them to grow. Start off by Yates up front, and I still think that front four, if you can give them the quality in the second half, I still think they can go on and win this game.
Can't praise the Blackpool supporters enough. I didn't hear their reaction to the goal as much as I felt it coming through my feet and up through the chair and wobbling us all here because it was such a noise. Kicking towards them, having that incentive. We often say the fans are trying to suck the ball into the goal. If you can't have that effect at Wembley Stadium, even if there's only 4,000 of you, where can you have it?
Yeah, I think that'll make a big difference. I really do. Because then it's not just the attacking team, it puts the defending team at this end, Lincoln, under pressure as well, with that crowd behind them, and that can have an effect on a young group and a young back four as well, with two centre backs who don't really look comfortable.
We talked about the substitutes, Ian Chisnell. It's setting itself up nicely for somebody to rise from that bench and be a hero, isn't it?
Well,
you look at the stories, don't you? CJ Hamilton's out there. He thought his season was over. Gary Medine was out for such a long time, and we had no news of the nature of his absence. You just wondered whether we'd see him again in Tangerine. But, you know, they may just have a part to play in this cliffhanging end of the season with such a lot on it. I think all the subs are out there now, Jackal, so that indicates to me that Neil Critchley's got a clean bill of health downstairs and he's not going to have to make any enforced changes.
No, he's not going to do anything this early. He'll just see how this second half start. But for me, you've got a match winner in Hamilton. You've got a game changer in Hamilton, and Medine as well, with his experience with crosses coming in the box if you need that towards the end. And we forgot to mention as well, Ward can come and, you know, he's got that energy. He can play on the right, he can play in midfield. So they're three, for me, game changers that Blackpool have got if they need to go on and try and get something, whether they have to come from behind or whether they get in front. I think they've got the changes there to be able to affect the game.
He's going to have to be a little bit careful as the players re-emerge with somebody like CJ Hamilton. He might think, right, I'll give him 20 minutes, but all of a sudden that 20 minutes might become 50 if they have to play extra time.
That's what I mean. You're going to have to be really careful. But they'll know. They put him on the bench today. We don't know whether it's just a calculated gamble, whether they think, right, we might get 20 minutes out of him, but that 20 minutes could be the difference between winning and losing.
Right, well, Lincoln City are out looking for work. Blackpool not yet emerged. That fleeting bit of cloud cover has disappeared, and it's going to be baking hot again for the second half. So, what do you make of Lincoln being out very early?
Probably he's given him a flea in the air, I would have thought, at half-time.
Well, he did in the second leg against Sunderland, didn't he? And he said, I had to go old school. It's not like me these days.
I think he would have done. I think he's probably looked at it. He would be delighted with the start that they've had, but he would have seen them drop off and just sit on that 1-0, which is very hard to do. If you've got a dead experienced back four who can deal with that sort of pressure and the onslaught, then fine. When you haven't got that, you're not used to playing like that, you're going to cause yourself problems, and that's what they did.
Chris Maxwell is leading the Blackpool side out. It will be unchanged from the start. No Ellis Sims, cruelly injured, taking a penalty after training had finished yesterday, would you believe? Chris Maxwell's the keeper. Ollie Turton, Dan Ballard, James Husband and Luke Garbutt at the back. Keshi Anderson, Kenny Dougal, Kevin Stewart and Demi Mitchell in midfield, with Elliot Embleton in behind Jerry Yates on the bench, and they'll still remain there. Stuart Moore, Jordan Gabriel, Jordan Thornley, Marvin Ekpateta, Grant Ward, Gary Medine and CJ Hamilton. Lincoln all in black. Alex Palmer, no changes for them either, incidentally, is the keeper. Regan Poole, Joe Walsh, Tim Ioma and Teo Eden. Liam Brickcutt, the holding midfielder. Brennan Johnson, the danger man. Conor McGrandles and George Grant were underway, with Tom Hopper and Morgan Rogers at the top of the pitch. Throw into Blackpool immediately as the young lad Joe Walsh has to head the ball out and into the crowd on this near side. Seasiders, you can already hear in the background. They've come down to enjoy the day. They want to shout their boys home, and they're going to give it everything they've got from the stands, as indeed the people at the sharp end across the whitewash there will. Second throw in as many minutes. Blackpool playing, as we look at it from the opposite side to the TV view, from left to right. Come on the pool is now the chant. Michael Appleton shading his eyes as Blackpool have it on halfway. Ballard goes across the back line to James Husband. Tom Hopper putting a little bit of pressure on. Just look at Yates' movement. He wasn't ever going to win that, Jacko, but he's looking for the second ball even before it's played.
Yeah, he does. He anticipates things. He sees what the defenders are going to do as well, and picks them out.
Well, Chris Maxwell's given everybody a half earlier, and Kenny Dougal's made a silk purse out of a sow's ear, and Yates is chasing, but the defenders come and close it down. And Chris Maxwell and James Husband almost got Blackpool into a right angle.
He did, yeah, but he just got themselves out of it there. Dougal come out, he's made it. He's hit a pass. It just seemed to slow on the grass. It didn't travel through.
Yeah, well, we just heard Derek Adams saying he has noticed that about watching games at Wembley, that it doesn't zip along the surface like it does for many other Premier League grounds. Maybe it's the makeup of the composition of the turf. or whatever. I think everybody's trying to find excuses for England's slow passing. Here's Embleton trying to go between people. Aidan's done well, actually, to use his body. It's come off Kevin Stewart, who's still not getting it. On the deck he is. Here he is on this near side. The number 27 is ploughing forward, Morgan Rogers, and he's won a free kick there. They've got pace about them, haven't they?
Yeah, they're an athletic team. He's just tweaked it a little bit, though, Happy for Lincoln. He's put Rogers closer to up to near Hopper, and he's playing with more two holding midfield players now, because they were just getting overloaded and they were getting counter-attacked too easy. So you can just see he's just tweaked it and tried to get someone a little bit closer, as well as getting people round Dougal and Stewart, because they were controlling the game.
That's somebody who's going to be Conor McGrandles. He's the one who's going to join Liam Bridcut in that area. High line, we've come used to this watching Blackpool. For the free kick, they've taken it short. Bridcut comes back to McGrandles. It'll come to the keeper, I think, with McGrandles having nowhere to go. That's very ambitious. It's been fielded well by Aoma, in fairness. Yates is giving him the hurry up, and down the line they go. Good break, Garbutt, and now Husband's got to be careful with Rogers over there. But we've had 3 minutes of the second half without the horror start to that first period, with Ollie Turton having the misfortune to put through his own goal, throwing on that far side to Lincoln City. Infield they work it. Good tackle by Kenny Dougal's going to break though for Lincoln, who have men over on this near side. One of them is Aidan, and it's on this near side with Teo Aidan again. Lovely little interplay, and Turton's got to be careful. He is careful, goes down, and it's a free kick to Blackpool.
Yeah, great defending that by Turton, because they've played a great little 1-2 on the edge of the box there, and he's got himself on the right side. He could have followed the ball, but he didn't. But that little change that Lincoln have made, it's just helped them a little bit, because they've got a bit more support towards up near Hopper now.
Yep. I would think Michael Appleton felt they spent rather too much ball without, or too much time without the ball, I would say. So Blackpool will build from the back following that free kick. It's Dan Ballard who has it. Turton is tight to the touchline ahead of him, and further forward is Demi Mitchell, who watches the ball bounce before bringing it under control. He's got the close attentions of Aidan. He goes back towards Embleton, and Turton joining in an advanced position now with Embleton. Lovely little 1-2. Embleton's at the byline. They're all pulling away here, and Lincoln make a rather better job of clearing it than Blackpool did in the first half. It's a corner.
They just don't look comfortable in there for me, Lincoln. When that ball comes in there, they look scared to death. If it had a bit more pace on that and a little bit more of a run dart across, that's another goal for Blackpool. But it's a great bit of play down this side.
As it is, they've got it away, and Luke Garbutt right down in front of us as we're level with the penalty spot. Garbutt whips, goalkeeper flaps a little bit. It's back out from Turton to Luke Garbutt, who'd made himself legal at the byline. Wants it on his left, of course, and Lincoln know that. It's Turton. He thinks he can head to the byline. Stands up a lovely ball. Fires wide from Kevin Stewart. It's just that difficult height. Do a chest it, do a volley. He went for the volley, and it's high and it's wide, and it's not a threat at all to Palmer.
No, he couldn't get his knee over to keep it down. But it's a great little bit of play down this side as well. Great cross, stood up.
Back it is with Palmer. 1-1 as the playoff final simmers here. We're into the 51st minute. Embleton is putting pressure on Walsh, who goes back to his goalkeeper. Alec Palmer goes towards the far side. Yates will let Aomi carry it a little while and then put the press on. Ball will go all the way through to Chris Maxwell. Blackpool 1, Lincoln City 1. Kenny Dougal replaying for Blackpool after they contrived to present with an own goal from Ollie Turton after just 53 seconds. Kevin Stewart wants to come towards this near touchline. Almost found Ollie Turton not paying attention there, but he's done enough to keep it in possession. And it will be with James Husband. Mitchell is on this near side. Anderson is close to him on the far. That's where it goes to Keshi Anderson, who goes back towards Dan Ballard. Stewart makes himself available in the right back position. Here is the former Liverpool, Tottenham and Hull City man, getting and swapping passes with Kenny Dougal. Ballard goes back. Hopper has done enough chasing for that little phase and lets James Husband play the out ball on that far side. It's over the top of Demi Mitchell, who's quick, but he's not that quick, and it'll be out of play for a throw-in on this near side to Lincoln City. Just got to take a bit more care with that final ball forward, Michael.
Yeah, it is. It's just picking that pass up. What's happened now is because they've got them two holders in there now, when Blackpool are looking up, it's not an easy pass there now, where they were getting it into there dead easy in the first half. Now they're having to work a little bit more, come out with the ball and circulate. But if you can get it switched to the likes of Mitchell and Anderson as well, because when they do something, there's always a counter product of it. So there's got to be space somewhere else now, which is probably going to be in wider areas.
Throw-in conceded by Joe Walsh onto this near side. Ollie Turton will take it. Ian Holloway's just pictured in the stand. Great day in his career when he took Blackpool to the Premier League. Here's Embleton on this near side. Fed back towards Mitchell, who whips it in. It's gone a long way across the box. Jerry Yates wants to turn. Instead, Dougal! Oh! Kenny Dougal! Has his second of the game! Right into the corner! You do not stop those! It's taken 53 minutes, but Blackpool lead at Wembley. Kenny Dougal with a brace. Blackpool 2, Lincoln City 1.
What a strike that is, by the way. It's an unbelievable strike.
And who sets it up?
Oh, Jerry Yates. Jerry Yates again. Jerry Yates has but again, they've got this little overhold out wide here. You can see it now. They've got a 3v3 out there. Ball comes in, it's whipped in. Look at Yates, pulls off the young centre-back, holds him off. Look at that for a layoff. Bang, have that, son. What a strike that is.
Well, one with the left foot, one with the right. Here's Yates. Tees it. Oh, dear me.
Brilliant strike.
It's the laces across the ball to send it further away again from the keeper.
Oh, honestly, that weight on the pass and the strike. But they've been threatened down this side again. They threatened down just before, and they just keep getting an overload down here now. That's where the space is for Blackpool now.
Right, we saw Lincoln go into a very early, very fortuitous lead, and we asked the question, have Blackpool got a response? The answer was a resounding yes. I'm posing the same question the other way round now, Michael Jackson. We're going to look now and see if Lincoln have got a response.
Exactly. Will the game change now and Blackpool sit a little bit? I think Blackpool know how to play this sort of game. They're still going. They're still going for it. Look at this man here. He's like a man possessed.
You don't need me to tell you that that man was Yates J, who has, well, I hope he enjoys his close season. I hope he enjoys a rest, because if anybody in this club deserves one, it's him. Blackpool are building again, and they're looking for Yates. It's Walsh across to clear on that far side, and Lincoln keep it in the field of play and win a free kick as Kenny Dougal on a hat-trick. Don't think I've ever said that in my life. It's wonderful so to do.
Blackpool now just got to keep the foot on the gas for me.
Yeah,
just keep the foot on it. Don't come off it now. You've got them by the throat now. Do not come off it.
I'm awful glad you said throat there. I didn't know what you were going to say. Heart was in my mouth for a minute. Here are Lincoln going forward with Aidan. That's a lovely feat from him. He's done a 360 turn. He's got it out of a difficult tight area. Here's Bridcut. Pressure is on though. Dougal's on him as soon as he got it. And McGrandles lifts it forward. Turton heads it the other way on halfway. Kevin Stewart's one possession back for Blackpool, who have it through James Husband. Garbutt's ahead of the game here. And so too is Anderson. And it's going to go all the way through and back to the goalkeeper. Alex Palmer clears straight away. Ballard is across there with Hopper, who leans on the young Northern Irish international, but he gets it out of play. Look at Neil Critchley, he's waving them forward here. He knows He's been in the same school as you, Jacko. He doesn't want the foot taken off the throat at all.
No, honestly, they've just got to stay on that. They know how to play this game now, Blackpool. They've done it consistently when I've watched them. They've been able to move in that shape and get the press on, keep with a nice compact unit, still keep getting at that back four though. They'll open up now, Lincoln. There will be spaces on that counter-attack to go and punish him.
George Grant is on the deck, put there by Ollie Turton, and it will be a Lincoln City free kick. We are in the 57th minute at Wembley, and Blackpool lead Lincoln City by 2-1. Free kick then. Blackpool have traditionally had a high line, and they've got it again. Whipped, penalty spot. Beyond everybody, that's got out of play for a goal kick. Wrong shape from there, surely, Jacko.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a good ball in that. It's just bending away as well. They're the key things now for Blackpool. In them set play times, everyone concentrating, everyone focusing. You're 2-1 up. Do your basics, the proper basics of your game now.
I'm just looking at Dan Ballard, who took a long time to get to his feet. I think he's okay, but we'll be on watch for him. Such a big member of this team. Maxwell restarts long, straight down the middle. Up goes Anderson. Can't guard it to a Blackpool man. Dougal gives his man a nudge right in front of the referee, who takes no notice. And James Husband goes out towards Luke Garbutt, who tries a low ball in, doesn't find its target, but he's turned Lincoln around. And Regan Poole guides it over the top, headed back the other way by Husband. Blackpool 2, Lincoln City 1. But here come Lincoln. They've had a good season, and they're charging forward again with that man, Brennan Johnson. And it took Ballard on the cover to stop, a 15-20 yard run?
Yeah, he's electric, isn't he, when he gets that ball there.
Now they're going to sleep at the corner here, and it's ricocheting across. They've got to pay more attention at this pace. He's got a real chance, Brennan Johnson, hasn't he?
Yeah, he comes to life, doesn't he, when he gets in that attacking third, and he goes through the gears and you can't catch him. Ballard's done brilliant, by the way. He's read that situation because he's gone past two of them. They're not catching him.
Pressure from Lincoln City. They have a corner on the right. Glancing header is sort of half away, now completely away. Dougal is everywhere as well, and he's hooked it forward. Blackpool looking at the shape as Lincoln have it and pick it up. They go down the outside of them. We've got to be careful, James Husband. He is. Lincoln City's crowd rather than their players looking for a penalty. Here's Anderson. Blackpool need to play further up the pitch, and they have a throw-in.
Yeah, he had to get that tackle right there. And I was looking at it when I looked at it back, I thought maybe, but he's got a clean challenge on it. The ref was right on it.
Yep, here it comes.
Yeah, he's still got to be careful for me there.
He has got to be careful.
Yeah.
You don't want to give the referee a chance to make a wrong call, do you?
No, not at all.
Yates has headed the ball infield. Kevin Stewart forward looking for Mitchell, doesn't find it. It's Lincoln who pick it up and give it away to Yates. That's not advisable. Back it goes towards Anderson, but they've done well to get it back, in fairness, Lincoln. After a bit of loose play from Liam Bridcut, of all people, the Lincoln City skipper. Walsh goes forward. Husband heads it directly at Kevin Stewart, whose control is good, and finds Ollie Turton on this near side. Mitchell's hugging the touchline ahead of him. Turton wants to give him a little one. Eden takes it away from him, and Lincoln try and get their way out. Kevin Stewart doesn't want them to. Aiden does. Well played to the young left back on this near side, and they've got Hopper in play, and Husband has to challenge. Pressure is not over, because here's Aiden, edge of the box for Lincoln City, pulling it back, teeing up the shot. They're over-egging this, aren't they? Shot comes in, Blackpool are on the deck, ball is pulled back, it's hooked away. Harem scare him in the Blackpool rear guard, but they've got it away, and Yates has got his body in between Lincoln players. It's a Lincoln City throw-in. The best spell of the game for Lincoln since they scored early doors.
Yeah, they're just starting to grow into it now a little bit, Lincoln. Blackpool have just got to try and make sure they keep pinching yards up the pitch here now, because they're going for it, Lincoln.
They have to. They're behind, and we're beyond the hour. The prize is a massive one. It's a place in the championship. Here's Regan Poole on the far touchline. Out of play, says the linesman. And they're just having a spell here, Lincoln City, and Blackpool have got to be guarded.
Yeah, They've just got to get together as a group now. These are the times when the ball goes dead, calming everybody down, make sure you're sticking to your roles and sticking to your jobs. As the game goes, leave it to the management to make sure they make the right changes at the right time, so they need to hang on to something.
Well, CJ Hamilton is having a pretty animated warm-up away to the left-hand side. I'm not suggesting he's coming on. Lincoln are going to make a change here. So we'll watch this with interest as Lincoln have possession. And on this near side, Blackpool, almost, Jerry Yates again. Almost got it back when he had absolutely no right to, but what he did do is force Lincoln into a rash forward ball, and we are going to see number 19 for Lincoln City. And Hopper is coming off. Is it Callum Morton who's going to be coming on? Yeah, it is Callum Morton. Doesn't help when I've got him down as 18 and he's got 19 on. Not been Hopper's day, has it?
No, he's been up there on his own. He's had little bits of support, but the two centre-backs for Blackpool have marshalled him well, and he's not really had a kick, to be honest. It's a big call because he's one of their main players as well.
Yeah, he is.
That's a push.
The referee not giving them today. And Lincoln have possession. Two hands in the middle of the back. That's surely too big. It'll go out of play. Bridcut gives up the chase. You're looking at your Kevin Stewarts and your Kenny Dougals to just settle that area of the pitch down.
Yeah, to be nice and compact, work as a pair in there. The two wide men help them as well when Lincoln start to open up. But for me, just take everything you do off that front man that they've got. Take everything that he's doing and they'll win the game. Attack every moment like he does.
Well, it's come off Bridcut again on this near side. The young man Morton, incidentally, Jacko, in the first 5 minutes left a foot in on Chris Maxwell that was all day long a red card. He got away with a yellow, but I don't think he's going to die wondering, young Callum Morton. There's all sorts going on in midfield here before Embleton picks up the ball. Dougal is there as well, scrapping and battling. And Blackpool have been adjudged to have fouled, and it's a free kick to Lincoln City. Blackpool lead Lincoln by 2-1. You listen to BBC Radio Lancashire. The first pass of a double header. Dan Jewell and Michael Jackson have brought the pyjamas, and they're going to be sleeping in the stadium tonight to make sure they're in tomorrow to bring you Morecambe against Newport County. But today the focus is on League One and League One only. Over the top of Ollie Turton, who readjusts. He's got company and so goes long down the touchline, thinking it'll drift out of play. Oh, he's kept still in the field of play here. Up in the air by Walsh. Embleton tries to bring it down. He's on the floor and Lincoln have it. Good refereeing again, wasn't a free kick.
Great header.
Ballard with a big header. Morton trying to ruffle his feathers as well. It's Bridcut who spreads the play towards the far side. They've got to use Johnson if they want to get any joy here. And here he comes. Edge of the box, played a 1-2. Wants a free kick, not getting it. Blackpool will clear. He stayed down as well. And here comes Anderson, who's fouled. And that surely is a professional foul by Bridcut, who gets the yellow card. He wanted to stop it because Brennan Johnson's on the deck at the other end.
Yeah, you can see that, but that's good when you've got players in your team that can carry the ball for you, especially when the game's under a little bit of a cosh now. Can you come there when you win it back and you then get the ground up there?
He's on his feet, Johnson, and play will carry on. Referee's quite happy for it to do so. No, he isn't. He's going to pull it back here. Yeah, it's a blatant charge by Liam Bridcut on. He's just run into Kenny Dougal, who hasn't altered his position, and I think the referee's got that right.
Yeah.
So free kick Blackpool after that little altercation. Bridcut in the book. Garbutt chipping, looking for Yates, who will hold it in. Yates looking for support, needing support. He's offside. He's got to be offside. He is offside. Just timed it wrong then, Jerry Yates, for once. I think he wanted Luke Garbutt to hold his run, didn't he?
Yeah, he was just delayed it a little bit. It'd be interesting now. Does he think Garbutt needs some protection as the game goes on that side in front of him, because you can see the full-back getting up there as well as him. That's who's getting on the ball now, Johnson.
He's already in the book. He can't afford any nonsense. He's on the byline again, and Garbutt's got this exactly right and had to. It is a corner. Surely they're going to fire everything in the world out towards Johnson now.
Exactly. So that's what my thinking is, that does he put somebody in front of him who can help out more defensively than Anderson as the game goes on?
Well, you wouldn't want to disrupt your centre-backs, but James Husband is a natural left-back. One can play in front of the other, and Ekpiteta or Thornley could come in. But here's the corner. We'll discuss that further in a minute. It's back out towards the taker, who was offside. Lazy. And that's, you wouldn't really, and you'll know more about this than anybody, having played all your career there. If your centre-back unit is working well, surely you don't disrupt it.
No, definitely not. You just wonder, does someone like Ward go out there who can do that graft?
He does the dirty work.
You know, I'm thinking, like, as you get down to the ticking the clock away, the last 10 or 15 minutes, where you might be thinking, right, they're trying to get the ball to him, they're going for it, and give him some protection, they're doubling up.
Picture of Simon Sadler on the in-stadium monitor. Arms or hands folded, looks very phlegmatically cool behind his protective mask, Tangerine tie on. Penny for his thoughts. Downfield it goes, looking for Yates, who gets a nick, and it goes all the way through to the goalkeeper. He will bowl it out towards this near side. And Joe Walsh. Now Demi Mitchell comes and puts pressure on and does enough to get it out of play. Here comes Gary Medine, and it's going to be for Demi Mitchell, and that would indicate to me that Blackpool are trying to help Jerry Yates at the top of the pitch, and they're going to get the ball long more directly.
Yeah, they won't. I don't think they'll force anything from the back now, Blackpool. It'll be going up to him, they'll be playing off bits around him and physically try and bully that Lincoln defence.
There's Kevin Stewart giving a foul away. Gary Medine is not in agreement with the decision, let's say. Change came on 68 minutes. So he'll add physicality. He'll add a bit of experience. He'll add a lot of experience, Gary Medine. You can see the pronounced 2 up there now, can't you?
Yeah.
So that's saying to me that he wants Keshi Anderson to play deeper and help Luke Garbutt out.
Yeah, well, that's the big threat, isn't it? That's the big threat for him at the moment.
Well, it's a foul by Callum Morton. He watched Dan Ballard go across him, and then he took him out. So, and he's now, he can't believe the decision, but he's got previous, this boy. Blackpool have a free kick, and they've made a change. Gary Medine on for Demi Mitchell, and Elliot Embleton will come and play in the wide berths with Anderson on the other side, with that axis of Dougal and Stewart still in tandem in the centre of the pitch. Chris Maxwell goes long, looking for Medine, who backs into his man, as he's made a career out of doing. Here's Dougal, clips it forward. Here's Yates, who's now got some help. Embleton is there. Lincoln and Bridcut do well to get it forward. Well played to them. In field, Stewart is there, gives a free kick away, didn't need to because Turton was in attendance. George Grant, he's going to take it. Listen to BBC Radio Lancashire, the first of what we hope will be a Lancashire Hot Pot doubleheader. Morecambe to come tomorrow in the company of Dan Jewell and Michael Jackson and Derek Quinn. Here is Aoma on the far side going forward. Callum Morton is there. Bridcut will sweep it out here. Now they've got an overload out here for a change, and goes back in from Aidan. Here's Rogers into the feet of the front line. Dougal is there trying to protect. He's trying to get the ball away. Referee sees nothing wrong. Lincoln are still going. A bit of a scramble here. It's Morton again. He's been on the field about 3 minutes and committed 5 fouls.
Yeah, but the more of these incidents you get now for Blackpool, the better, because it breaks it up. They want momentum now, Lincoln. They want to try and keep things going. These little bits now, when you break it up, they can get restarts into the up there, play off him. It suits Blackpool, that now.
It's Turton. He's had 1 goal, Morton. Then there wasn't a lot in it, to be fair, to the young man. So It's Maxwell to restart from just outside the D. Medine is there, and it will be Dougal towards the far side. Lovely little feet from Keshi Anderson. Uses Elliot Embleton. And Yates is now wide on this near side. Medine wants it standing up. It's not going to come from Yates. Goes back to Anderson. Turton's ahead of the game. And Anderson into the feet of Jerry Yates. Gets it back. Didn't want it there, and he slips. And he's still got it back somehow. Here's Dougal. Crowd are saying shoot. He won't. Here's Yates. He's in Jerry Yates. It's over the keeper and away off the line. Excellent play from Kenny Dougal and Jerry Yates. And a third was almost coming, but Lincoln get it away.
Yeah, he just couldn't get that little dink on the other side, could he? You can see what he's trying to do. Great ball by Dougal.
Well, he's a long way towards putting an Australian name on the Man of the Match award, you'd thought. Back it comes towards the far side. And Keshi Anderson and that man Dougal involved again. Anderson doesn't know where he's going, so discretion is the better part of valour, and they go back to Chris Maxwell. He will use James Husband, again one of the more experienced. Big long diagonal is fired. Medine is there, gets a flick, but it goes the wrong way, and it's picked up by Joe Walsh, who will have a rather different kettle of fish to deal with Medine's entrance. Here's Aidan. Husband is there. Morton gets it off the front line, and here's Morgan Rogers as Lincoln come again, as they have to do. Rogers, Turton stands, still standing Ollie Turton. Rogers denied one crossing opportunity. Good header at the back post, away to safety by Luke Garbutt. It's a corner.
Yeah, he's done well there, the back post, Garbutt, because he's done well, the kid on this side. He's just stood the ball up there for a header at the back post, but he's got there first, Garbutt. But that's the threat. It looks like the two widemen on these sides now are going to try and cause Blackpool problems. That's why I'm saying, do you need people in front who can double up?
Yep, 17 to go. Corner to Lincoln City. And it's gone a long way across the box. It's out of the box on this near side. Blackpool encouraged by Maxwell to clear their lines. Stewart is there, can't stop the cross. It's smashed away onto this near side for a throw-in on this near side to Lincoln City. It's their season in a nutshell, Michael. They've got to go for it.
Yeah, they have, definitely. They're going to have to go for that now. They're capable with the two widemen they've got at this moment in time. They like to get running at you.
Throw into Lincoln City. Stewart thought it came off a Lincoln man, and on a replay it did. So this is a big call. I hope nothing sinister comes of it. Blackpool supporters trying to do their bit from the pitch surrounds as Lincoln have it. And good harrying back there. Would you believe it's Jerry Yates back doing that shift? As Lincoln still have it. They're going to sweep it out looking for Johnson, who has a lash at it, and it hits the corner flag and goes behind for a goal kick. The young man would have been well advised to try and bring that down and torment Garbutt, you would have thought. Yeah,
he thought he was just going to have a little swipe it, and he's just miscontrolled it. But these are the moments now Blackpool have got to come together. The whole group should be looking at each other going, listen, just dig, make sure you stick together, work from your shape. When we've got the ball, look after it and find that front four.
A 49th league game of the campaign, finished third after the statutory and regular 46. A big win and a draw to see off Oxford, and in this game number 49, the worst possible of starts, and Ollie Turton on goal in a minute. They battle back and they lead 2-1. A lot of football still to be played towards this near side, and Turton is there and finds Medine. Medine looks at his man, and forward goes Ollie Turton, would you believe, towards the byline, leave it off it, and he's given a corner, has he?
He's given there.
Well, it can't be a free kick outside the box, can it?
I don't know what he's inside the box.
He can't give one decision that you cannot give. Yeah, well, maybe he's right. Maybe hands up, Tony Harrington. Hands up, those who were crying for a penalty. It is not. It's a free kick. Just half a metre away from the byline. Luke Garbutt has it. He's not rushing about. It's a great run by Ollie Turton, by the way, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's just underlapped him there, hasn't he? It's a dangerous position this now for Blackpool. Have they got something up the sleeve here that they can maybe work? A little pullback maybe? Or is he just going to fire it?
He's just going to whip this. Here's Garbutt, stands it up and confounds all of us. Head comes in, it's over the bar. Gary Medina had pulled off, but it was a standing jump and you can't get the power in them, can you?
No, it was hard to do. It was just pulling away from him there. I can see why they've done it, but I thought he was just going to whiz that in there with a bit of pace on it.
We are in the 77th minute. No apologies for pretty regular time checks from this particular commentator. Michael Jackson alongside myself, Ian Chisnell and Dan Jewell. We're here in force, not as many as we thought we might be, but that's another story. Here's Dougal. Goes forward and it's Medine now. Doesn't usually carry ball at feet. It's a lovely little slide. Is it to the far side? Liam Bridcut has done brilliantly. And Keshi Anderson has cramped up. You could almost hear the muscles tightening there. Ball is with Chris Maxwell and Anderson is on the turf. What's the referee going to do? It's not a head injury, so Tony Harrington is within his rights to let this game carry on. Now he's going to stop it. And all of this will mean a protracted and elongated period of stoppage time. We're going to see CJ Hamilton, would you believe, and Grant Ward, two men who've been in Stuart Irwin's physio room for longer than they'd care to remember, and they're going to join us for hopefully the last few minutes of this one. And I think Keshi Anderson, having had his surgery, might be one of the ones to go.
Yeah, I think he'll just replace the two wide men now.
Yeah.
I think both wide men will come off and they'll put two on, and he's probably thinking be a bit brave on one side with one of them to force the fullback back on that side and maybe go and put Ward on the other side where Johnson is on that.
Help.
Yeah, to help him out on that side.
And then, of course, pull the play one way and sling it over the top for the out ball for the pace of CJ Hamilton.
Yeah, that's so. I think he's going to be a bit brave on one side because they'll be scared of him, and if you get the pace right and get the ball right, you ain't catching him.
So Anderson is one of the ones to go. And Elliot Embleton, I think, will be the other. We shall see. Yes, it is Elliot Embleton. I don't slave up and down the motorways of this country for 46 games without being able to predict that, do I? So they both did a shift. And here come the surprise inclusions onto the team sheet. CJ Hamilton and Grant Ward. Ward's last game, let me tell you, Jacko, was at the Stadium of Light, and he was simply wonderful.
Right.
Simply wonderful. Got a knock in the closing stages, but he ran the midfield, he organised the defence, and made the telling balls and runs up the other end of the pitch. He was just magnificent.
Yeah, they needed that freshness in them wide areas now. The centre of the team, he's not going to change that, but that little bit of extra zip now in them wide areas.
Irish goal scorer Anthony Scully is on for George Grant for Michael Appleton's Lincoln. Medine is underneath this, wins his flick. That's a different kettle of fish, as I said, a different proposition to play with. And CJ Hamilton will scamper across to cut the options down on the far side. He started on that far side. Offside flag does not go up. Where is Maxwell? He's there belatedly. Gracious me. Heart in mouth time there. But the goalkeeper has it. So that has surprised me that Ward has come onto this side and CJ Hamilton's on the other.
All I can think of is he suits that position. He'd maybe not think, well, I don't really like him on the right hand side.
Yep.
That might be the only reason I can really think about it.
Dan Ballard is there. It's a foul, he's pushed. And we are in the last 10 minutes as Keshi Anderson takes the applause of the Blackpool supporters coming round here on the corner that we overlook. And Blackpool have a free kick inside the centre circle, and more crucially, they have a 2-1 lead over Lincoln City, having gone behind before a minute was struck. Looking for Medine, who brings it down. Edge of the box, Medine. Now he uses CJ Hamilton on the far side. He just lifts it in, looking for Yates, who can't climb. Lincoln are there, and they clear up towards halfway. Ballard is watchful and clips it forward. Not the best decision he's ever made. He could have gone back to his keeper. He could have let it run out of play. And Lincoln have a throw in on this near side.
Yeah, they brought Scully on as well in that little change, haven't they, on this
Scully's
left
on for Grant.
Yeah, in this left-hand side.
Good goal scorer, Scully. He's got 11 of the campaign from just 22 starts, so that's good shooting from him. And Blackpool would not want to provide him with another opportunity in this one. Here he is, Anthony Scully. Irishman, scurries in field, clips it over the top. Easy catching practice for Chris Maxwell.
What's happened there again? Is that striker, isn't he? He's had a couple of angry pills in, hasn't he, before he came?
I think he's had angry pills throughout his career from what he says. Should have been sent off in the first 10 at Lincoln, and he's at it again. Here's the ball breaking for Medine, just away from him. CJ Hamilton's quick, it needs to stop rather quickly, and it doesn't. 8 minutes plus stoppages between Blackpool and a place in the Championships, the first time since 2015. But they've got work to do before we can start talking about that. The supporters are certainly doing their bit. Ball is headed forward, belted away by Lincoln. Ballard underneath it, hooks it back the other way. McGrandles, good play to settle it down. Now he's taken one off Grant Ward, I think, there, and he's hobbling Conor McGrandles. Husband sets himself, doesn't win the header cleanly, but Kevin Stewart can bring it down. And now they try and use it inside the back for CJ Hamilton, and it almost came off. I think Kevin Stewart must have realised in training that CJ Hamilton is an absolute flying machine, and here's the workhorse, the talent that is Jerry Yates on this near side. Lays a little ball into Grant Ward, who's comfortable with ball at feet. Now Dougal and now Stewart. Edge of the box is Medine. He just keeps possession and uses Stewart. All this, of course, is winding that second hand down on the clock. Hamilton, crossing opportunity. Medine is there. It's cleared by McGrandles. Here's Stewart to take it down. Can't take it in. Yates won't get it. Lincoln will clear. Blackpool 2, Lincoln 1. Husband has it on halfway. Angry man is down. Callum Morton. The referee didn't give that, Jacko. It's our friend with the yellow flag on the far side.
Yeah. The ref's just letting the game go. He's been going around trying to have a go at everybody so far, hasn't he, since he's come on?
And somebody's just got a yellow card. Was it James Husband? It was. So Husband sent off in the Bloomfield Road encounter with Lincoln in the very, very early stages. This free kick for Lincoln is almost on halfway. Bridcut knocks it back into motion. And they're looking to thread the needle down the far side here. Now then, this is where Garbutt will need some help. It's into the box, it's high over the bar, it's a goal kick. Chris Maxwell was always confident. Dan Ballard has taken a whack on the head. And it was our friend Callum Morton who headed it over the bar, so if he concentrated on football, he might be an asset to Michael Appleton.
Yeah, he's got up early there over the back of the centre-back. You've got to get round the other side of him there. Ballard just gets caught the wrong side. He's got to work harder to get round the back of him.
Just listen to these supporters. How many of them are there? Gracious me, they're doing their job. Keep going, boys. Keep shouting your heroes home. It's long from Maxwell. Into the centre circle. Ballard hooks it back the other way. And no Blackpool man in attendance over there, so Regan Poole has it. Can't believe how much time he's got to have that. Oh my word, he almost gave it back to Jerry Yates. There'll be plenty of tired bodies and minds out there, Michael.
Yeah, definitely. But what's at stake now? You just have to push yourself through. Push yourself through, keep your concentration.
Here's Scully trying to have a run at Ollie Turton. It's 2-1 Blackpool, but Lincoln are going forward. Scully, Turton stands up. It's a long ball across the box. Here's Maxwell to punch it away, half away, and belted away it is by James Husband. Yates is there again. He has worked his cotton socks off again. Long it goes, looking for a run from Medine. Keeper is miles out, Alex Palmer. Cool as you like. Turns and comes towards this near side. There are 3.5 minutes plus stoppages to go at Wembley, and Blackpool lead courtesy of 2 Kenny Dougal goals to an Ollie Turton own goal for Luton. Back it goes from Eden, and it's Walsh away towards the far side, and Aoma who feeds the far flank. Blackpool with everybody between ball and goal. Jerry Yates is feeling it, and he has every right to. Turton's got to judge this, and has. Heads it forward, picked up by Lincoln, who have almost everybody in the Blackpool half. Turton thinks he can win that. Ballard does, and he goes back to Maxwell. But to be sure and steady, he is. Long and high. Medine underneath it, looks where Yates was. Walsh has it, the centre-back goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. Cloud comes over again with... I can't read the clock here. There's 3.5 minutes now. Sorry about that, folks. Lincoln have possession. Chested down by Luke Garbutt, who's coming across the pitch, going back to Dan Ballard.
Great ball.
Over the top. That's where they want it for Grant Ward, who doesn't get there, and Lincoln tiredly get it forward through Walsh. Scully is scampering forward now. They've got men forward here. One of them is Rogers. Shot will come, and it's wide of Chris Maxwell's goal. Didn't get the curl on it he anticipated. 16 for 4. Lewis Monsma, who is a centre half, he's going to replace a tired looking young Joe Walsh. Monsma, who's got a fantastic scoring record, by the way, and he's going to go and play up top, you would think, by the area of ground he's covering. Scored 6 goals very early on in the season. What will Blackpool do to combat that, Michael? They're going to play Lewis Monsma right up the park.
Yeah, I don't think what they'll do, the two midfield players are experienced enough. You know, the two centre-backs, just like a 4-4-2 that now, the two centre-backs are just going to have to deal it. He could do, if he wanted to, bring another centre-back on and go 3 at the back.
He's going to. Jordan Thornley's ready. They need to get it on then, as Lincoln have it on halfway. Yates again will close Ayoma down. There's Ballard. Offside flag is up. Chance to get Jordan Thornley on here and reinforce that end of the pitch. Anxiety all the way round to my right hand side. And here comes Jordan Thornley. Fourth official is not ready with his board yet. But Blackpool won't want a resumption without Thornley being on. He's another man who's done really well this season, having been well out of the picture in the early stages. It's going to be Jerry Yates who's coming off, so he's got to be shattered, Jerry Yates. But this is a gamble that Lincoln City do not score and take us into stoppage time, because you don't want Jerry Yates cooling his heels if that happens.
It's crossed it doesn't happen. But he's been outstanding, honestly. He's driven this team today from the front. He's been brilliant. When that little spell at the start of the game, he dragged his team through that for me, and he's been outstanding all season. We are in the 90th minute, so it will be all eyes on the fourth official, who is ready himself. Yates will sleep tonight, as he always does. He has been absolutely brilliant. Long from Maxwell. Medine is underneath this. He can't get anything on it. Will be out to play for a goal kick. And well, the boos are because they've announced the crowd as 9,000 whatever, when both clubs felt it should be considerably more. Here comes the fourth official. There's got to be 5 or 6, you'd think. He's not ready to put it up yet. There are 4 minutes of stoppage time. Blackpool are 4 minutes away from moving up a level into the Championship for the first time since 2015. So we are in that period now, and they've just got to roll the sleeves up, Michael, and see it out. Yeah, this is the time now. This is the batten down the hatches job. You know, you get your front men here grafting up front, try and stop the ball coming forward. Turton heads forward. It's on halfway with Edom. Low ball, looking for the feet of Scully. Good group defending from Blackpool there. It will be a throw-in to Michael Bolton's Lincoln, with nerves are jangling, fingernails being bitten, and Neil Critchley standing hands on the hips. Is he standing on the very edge of a magnificent achievement? Ward is harrying. It's back out towards Edom. Down the line they go through Morton. Blackpool want offside, they don't get it. Don't give a silly free kick away.
They've saved the corner, have they? No, they haven't. It will be a Lincoln City corner, and we have played 1 minute and 15 seconds of stoppage time. Ballard, they're looking at the matchups now with Montsma on, and he is a danger.
Yeah, get someone round him, get them there, is Nadine round him.
Corner from the Lincoln left.
Just do your job.
Goalkeeper is up there, Alex Palmer is up there. Now's the head, it's out of the box. Nobody at home at the other end of the pitch, and Blackpool might get it there here. As Bridcut comes across, he will see it down the line. It's good play from the skipper, well played to him. And they have a free kick, and Palmer will go again, I think, for Lincoln City. Was that Dougal for kicking the ball away?
Yeah, but the thing he's got to be careful, because sometimes he had more time on as well.
Yeah,
the refs can be funny about that.
It's Scully to take this on the far side. Regan Poole is a right-footed alternative, but I think it's Anthony Scully lining it up. 2 minutes and 10 of stoppage time have gone.
They're overloaded round the back there, Blackpool. They need to get them to push another man round the back.
Well, here comes the delivery. It's round the front. They've got to stand up. No fouls. CJ Hamilton back defending. He'll want to cannon this as far away as he can. It's up the pitch, and Blackpool have got to get up the pitch. Keeper still forward.
Tell you what, they win this, they're going to...
Ball is on the far post. He's shot over the bar.
That was your chance.
That'll be the chance.
That was the chance.
That'll be the chance. There are 3 minutes of the 4 having disappeared here. There's a Lincoln man down. That will extend the period. What is Tony Harrington saying? He's saying to Chris Maxwell, you're going to have to get on with it. The Lincoln physio is on. All of this will take us well beyond the 4 minutes. The Blackpool supporters are dancing on the right-hand side. They're dancing because if they stood still, they'd be nervous wrecks.
That was a chance though for Lincoln, wasn't it? That was the chance.
Well, you picked it, Jacko. You said they're overloaded and Blackpool never addressed it.
No, you could see they were over. That's the bits where they're that tired, they're that knackered. You've got to dare the ones that can make the difference. They got away with that there.
So there's some plaster being applied here. Who will this suit more? The team who are chasing it or the team who are trying to hold it?
I think for Blackpool now, any break in the play to break momentum in Blackpool's favour.
Kenny Dougal has been officially awarded the man of the match. Will his 2 goals take Blackpool up another level? Hang on to your hats, folks. We'll find out in a very few minutes. Stopwatch is irrelevant, but that says we played 4.5 minutes of 4. Time for a drink, I think.
What, of water or a stiff drink?
I might need both, but I'll only be getting water. So there's the walking wounded. It is the new man, Lewis Montsma. There's Neil Critchley. You thought he was walking his dog in the park, Critch. Look at his face there. Montsma's got to come off because he is being bandaged up. Let's get back to the football and remember that it is a goal kick after that chance flashed high and wide. Montsma waits. He'll have to be invited back on. We played 5 minutes of an additional 4, but there's been a 2-minute stoppage in that. Montsman is weighted back on. Medine is chasing, and CJ Hamilton fouls. Now then, another set play to defend. It's halfway inside Lincoln's half, very central. Everybody in Tangerine has gone back to defend what they've got, and that is a 2-1 lead. It's up into the air, headed away by Blackpool towards this near side. Harrying there is Grant Ward. It's going to squeeze into Lincoln possession here by the touchline. Blackpool have got 2 there. All eyes on the referee. It's a scuffle in the corner, and Blackpool will clear up this near side, but not very far, and now they will. CJ Hamilton, get it up the other end. Just take it as far as you can. That's a free kick, and that might be that, you know. Has he blown it? It's done, it's over!
Yes,
and Blackpool are up!
Brilliant.
Kenny Dougal's goal has taken Blackpool to the championship. There will
been absolutely outstanding all season, and that just finishes it off for him. What a great achievement for the club, the players, the staff, the manager, the fans to see that here today after everything that's gone on. They've been unbelievable to the right of us here. What a great achievement. 2 great goals. Blackpool for me were the better team, and they've been the best team all season for me, and they fully deserve to be promoted to the Championship, and I really hope they enjoy the night because they really deserved it.
And talk about react in the face of adversity. Let me take you back to 3:01. Ollie Turton, trying to guide the ball away from goal, could only put it into the top of his own net. 53 seconds on the clock, and they're behind at Wembley. But this team have got you-know-what, and they did respond.
They have. That could knock the stuffing out of them, which it did for a little while, but they bounced back, and they tried to get forward, they pressed, and they got after them, and they always looked like they were a threat going forward, Blackpool, especially with the lad with the 8s up front, who was outstanding along with Dougal. But all of them today, they deserved that massively, because that's a big pressure game today, and they've come out of it to come bounce back as well.
And now we can say it. This is the best way to go up.
It is definitely. Sometimes if you go up automatic, you're sat watching it in Magaluf in a bar. Here now, you're live, you know what I mean? You're in front of your family, you're here, the fans are here, you're at Wembley, and you're going to get promoted to the Championship. You wake up tomorrow morning, you think all that work, all that effort, everything that you've put into it as a group, everything that you've gone through, and that's what it's worth, that's what it means now.
We'll come to Jerry Yates in a minute, but Kenny Dougal, picked up as a free agent, wasn't anywhere near fit enough to be thrown into the mix. Results going the wrong way, and Neil Critchley and the newly arrived Colin Calderwood gambled and chucked Kenny Dougal in and said to him, go and give us an hour. An hour, he did the full 90, and he's never been out of this team since, other than a little dose of COVID, and he's won the game for them today with some goals.
Him and Stuart in there were terrific. They used their experience, they got on the ball, they closed stuff down, they kept the team compact, and they were excellent. You know, he's been brilliant, Dougal, to get them 2 strike. That second one's an unbelievable strike. Credit to him, look at him down there, brilliant to see.
I'll tell you what, Ellis Sims has just been waving a massive banner over his head. That tells you the spirit in the group. Look at him dancing, groin or no groin. Not able to play today, but
that groin's gone now.
They've just had big players in all areas, Jackal. Chris Maxwell's been solid as a rock all year. Dan Ballard has been a revelation. Coming from Arsenal, I'm wondering, is he going to be a tippy-tappy defender, play out from the back? Not so, he's a proper centre.
No, he's been brilliant. Every time I've seen him, he looks the part, he looks the size, he competes, like you said, he doesn't look like he's not tippy-tappy, but he can play as well. But for me, you talk about big game players, the likes of Yates, the 2 lads in midfield, Ballard you mentioned, the keeper, but then step up, they thrive in these occasions. They don't see it as a chore. They want to showcase the talent. That's what it's about. And then big players stepped up today for Blackpool.
If we believe what we hear, there is sufficient and several Championship clubs interested in Jerry Yates, who is on a 2-year deal. He's ended one of it. But you've got to think he'd be saying, right, well, for my career, I need to build a Championship next year. Well, he don't need to go anywhere now.
Well, exactly. That's something for another time as well. You know, if there's offers on the table, that's up to Blackpool to sort. But no one could ever doubt the kid of what he's given Blackpool this year. Whatever happens, whether he stays or he goes, he has been outstanding. Every time I've seen him play, if you want a centre forward to lead the line and show what it means to play for you, he epitomises it for me. He's been outstanding.
And you talk about heroes on the pitch, you've got to take your hat off to Neil Critchley, who came from academy football, who came from the Liverpool 23s. He had a torrid first month, 6 weeks, results going against him, goals going in right, left and centre. And then he made a change. He put the 2 sitters and the 2 holders into the central midfield to protect 2 young, very, very young defenders, Ekpiteta and Dougal. And the form since then, well, it's been outright promotion, Paul, hasn't it?
It's been brilliant. You look at what was it, two defeats in 24 games. It's outstanding. The clean sheets that they've kept, and he's done great. What I like about him, he's been honest. he said he was learning. He said he needed that little bit of time to adjust. He's seen what was going wrong. He couldn't play the way he really wanted to play, what he'd done in the academy with Liverpool. So he tweaked it a little bit. But that's a sign of somebody who's happy with himself, and he's happy to trust people around him, take the info in and make the right decisions. And he's been backed by a great group of players, staff, board, and the way they've gone about it with the recruitment has been outstanding.
Great moment here. Simon Sadler is on the way on the pitch before the presentation. I think Dan Jewell's in position downstairs. So he's not. Okay, here are a few of the key moments from this fantastic playoff win for Blackpool. And they are on the podium now, ready to accept the spoils of victory. Tell you what, behind that advertising holding Michael Jackson, there is an old bottle of refreshment, shall we say.
There'll be more than an odd bottle of that on the way home as well, by the way, when they get on that bus. Honestly, it's one of the best feelings. It's hard to describe when it actually happens.
Jerry Yates has just about got the energy to get up those steps. He's just certainly got the energy to have a drink, and now he is spraying it over his teammates. They're just mounting the rostrum. Chris Maxwell wants the rest of the squad, the young boys as well, to be on that podium. He has led by example all season, and it is the skipper who will go last. He's got his medal being presented on his way up. The trophy waits. Chris Maxwell, with the shimmering hands, is saying, hang on, he has it, up it goes! Blackpool are the playoff champions for 2021, and they celebrate regally. Players, subs, officials, they're all there joining in